You live in an age of noise, a relentless, deafening avalanche of words. Social media feeds screaming for your attention. 24-hour news cycles shouting about the latest crisis. Meetings filled with people talking over each other, each one desperate to be heard. You have been taught a simple, powerful lie to survive in this chaos. The lie is, to be heard, you must be louder. You are told to speak more, to have a take on everything, to fill every silence, to project your voice into the storm of opinions, hoping that by sheer volume, you will finally be noticed. You believe that the person who speaks the most, who contributes the most words, is the one who holds the most power. This is a fatal strategic error. You have been confusing noise with signal. You have been confusing volume with weight. The ancient Stoics, the grandmasters of human dynamics, knew a truth that our modern world has completely forgotten. Power does not come from what you add to a conversation. It comes from what you subtract. They understood that words are a currency, and our world is in a state of hyperinflation. Today, we are going to expose this lie. We will show you why your constant talking is the very reason no one is listening. We will teach you the forbidden art of verbal economy, the art of making your words so rare, so dense, so heavy with meaning, that when you finally choose to speak, the entire world falls silent to listen. This is not a guide to public speaking. This is a guide to public gravity. Think about your own experience, not with judgment, but with the cold, hard data of your memory. Think of the person in your life who never stops talking. When they enter a room, they fill it with stories, with opinions, with noise. At first, it might be entertaining, but what happens over time? You learn to tune them out. Their words become like the hum of an air conditioner. You know it's there, but you no longer truly hear it. Their constant speech has trained your brain to categorize them as unimportant. Now, think of someone you know who is quiet, someone who listens more than they speak. They are in the same room, observing. The conversation swirls around them. And then, at a key moment, they speak. One sentence, clear, precise, devastatingly insightful. And what happens? The entire room stops. Every head turns. Their one sentence has more weight, more impact than the 1,000 words that came before it. Why? Because scarcity creates value. This is the fundamental law you have been ignoring. You have been trying to earn attention by flooding the market with your words, making them cheap, making them worthless. You thought you were being engaging. You were actually being forgotten. Today, we will reverse the flow. We will teach you to stop spending your words and to start investing them. The power of saying less. The modern habit of over-talking is a psychological virus. It is an addiction to the sound of one's own voice, fueled by a deep-seated fear of being invisible. To cure this addiction, we must first understand the disease. It is supported by three great flawed pillars. They are the lies that keep you talking and keep you from being heard. We will now demolish them. The first pillar is the lie that silence is emptiness. We are terrified of the pause. A moment of silence in a conversation feels like a failure. It feels like a technical malfunction. The energy is dying. Someone must save it. And so, you rush in to fill the void. You tell an irrelevant story. You make a weak joke. You ask a pointless question. Anything to keep the noise going. You think you're being a good talker, but you're not being smart. You're being nervous. You fill every pause because silence makes you uneasy. Without knowing it, you show that you're anxious, not fully here. You're focused on avoiding silence, not on what's being said. To the Stoic, silence isn't empty. It's space for thought, for calm, for truth to surface. It's where the other person can hear their own mind. When you're at ease with silence, you offer something rare. You give others the freedom to just be. No act, no pressure, no mask. Silence is a lesson learned from the many sufferings of life. Seneca understood something most people miss. Those who faced real pain learn the power of silence. They know not everything needs to be said. They see the true connection often lives in the quiet between words. When you pause after someone speaks, you send a message without saying a thing. What you said matters. I'm thinking about it. I'm not just waiting to talk. I'm really listening. This is a superpower. In a world where everyone is a broadcaster, you become a receiver. And in doing so, you become a magnet. People will find themselves telling you things they don't tell anyone else, because your silence created a safe, open space for their truth to emerge. The silence you feared was a vacuum. You were wrong. It is a vessel. And when you provide the vessel, others will fill it with the most valuable thing they have, their genuine, unperformed self. The second pillar of this prison is the lie that saying more makes you seem more intelligent. We have been conditioned to believe that expertise is demonstrated through volume. The person with the most facts, the most anecdotes, the most complex vocabulary must be the smartest person in the room. And so we prepare. We cram our minds with information, with talking points, with clever replies, ready to unleash a torrent of knowledge to prove our worth. This is the strategy of the insecure. True intelligence does not need to broadcast itself. It is confident in its own existence. A person who is truly secure in their knowledge has nothing to prove. They have no need to dominate the conversation. In fact, they often do the opposite. They listen intently. They ask simple, powerful questions. They speak only to clarify a point, to offer a crucial insight, or to admit the limits of their own knowledge. Think of the difference between a firework and a star. The firework is a loud, spectacular, and desperate explosion of light. It screams for your attention, fills the sky with noise and color for a brief, frantic moment, and then it is gone. It leaves behind only smoke and a faint memory. The star, however, is silent. It does not perform. It does not demand your attention. It simply sits in the vast, quiet darkness, and by its very presence, it provides a fixed point of light that sailors have used to navigate for centuries. The person who over-explains, who showers you with unnecessary facts and jargon, is a firework. They are impressive for a moment, but ultimately, they are exhausting and provide no lasting guidance. The person who speaks with economy and precision is a star. Their words are few, but they are points of light. They provide clarity. They provide direction. It is the mark of an educated mind to be able to entertain a thought without accepting it. Aristotle. The person who talks too much is not entertaining thoughts. They are desperately trying to force you to accept theirs. The truly intelligent person is comfortable in the quiet space of consideration. They are not afraid of the simple, powerful words, "I don't know." In fact, admitting the limits of their knowledge is a demonstration of their intellectual confidence. It signals that their self-worth is not tied to being seen as an expert on everything. They are a seeker of truth, not a performer of knowledge. And that honesty is far more magnetic than any manufactured expertise. The third pillar of the myth is the lie that speaking more gives you more control. When a conversation becomes tense or difficult, our instinct is to talk our way out of it. We believe that if we can just find the right words, the right argument, we can manage the other person's emotions and steer the outcome in our favor. We talk to fill the awkward silence. We talk to defend our position. We talk to soothe the other person. We use words as a tool to manage the chaos. This is an illusion of control. In most cases, the more you talk, the less control you have. You are revealing your strategy. You are showing your hand. You are giving your opponent more information to use against you. You are displaying your own anxiety, which signals to them that you are the one in the weaker position. The Stoic Grandmaster understands that in moments of high tension, the most powerful move is often no move at all. It is the move of strategic silence. Silence is not passive. It is an active and often aggressive tool of power. When you are being criticized or attacked, your instinct is to immediately defend yourself. But what happens if you just stay silent? You take a breath. You look at them with calm, focused attention, and you say nothing. This does several things at once. First, it completely disrupts their script. They were expecting a fight, a counterattack. You have given them nothing. You have refused to play their game. Second, it forces them to keep talking. And the more they talk with no resistance from you, the more likely they are to overextend themselves, to reveal their true motives, or to simply run out of steam. They are, in effect, arguing with themselves, and they are losing. Third, And most importantly, your silence communicates a level of unshakable confidence that no words ever could. It says, your attack is not powerful enough to merit a response. Your words do not have the power to move me. It is a quiet, profound demonstration of your own inner stability. You are not a small boat being tossed around by their waves. You are the lighthouse, standing on solid rock, and their storm is breaking harmlessly against your foundation. This is true control, not the frantic attempt to manage their emotions, but the calm mastery of your own. Now we arrive at the great, liberating truth that underpins this entire philosophy. The reframing that will forever change your relationship with your own voice. You have been living under the assumption that the opposite of being unheard is being loud. This is a childish and primitive understanding of power. The opposite of being unheard is not being loud. The opposite of being unheard is being weighty. Weight does not come from volume. It does not come from the complexity of your words. It does not come from the frequency of your speech. Weight comes from a single, rare, and powerful source: presence. It is the feeling that when you speak, your entire being is behind your words. It is the knowledge that your words are not just sounds, but are the precise, distilled expression of a clear and focused mind. You cannot fake this. You cannot learn it as a trick. It can only be earned. Now we move from deconstruction to construction, from the noise of the world to the silence of your own power. 3 practical rituals to break your addiction to talking and to begin forging a voice that has the gravity of a star. The first ritual, the question-to-statement ratio. For the next week, you will track your own speech. Your mission is to consciously and deliberately shift your ratio. You will aim to ask twice as many questions as you make statements. This will be difficult. Your ego will want to share its own opinion, its own story. You will resist. You will transform yourself from a broadcaster into an investigator. You will become genuinely curious about the inner world of the person you are speaking with. You will ask simple, open-ended questions. Tell me more about that. What was that like? How did you arrive at that conclusion? This practice does 2 things. It makes the other person feel deeply heard, which is a rare and magnetic experience. And it forces you into the powerful position of the listener, the observer, the one who gathers intelligence while revealing none. The second ritual, the 3-second rule. The next time someone asks you a question in a conversation, you will not answer immediately. You will pause. You will take a quiet, deliberate breath. You will hold their eye contact, and you will wait for 3 full seconds before you speak. This will feel like an eternity, but to the other person, it will signal something profound. It will signal that you are not just reacting with a pre-programmed answer. You are actually thinking. You are considering their question. You are giving their words the respect of your full attention. This small pause will dramatically increase the perceived weight of the words that follow. You are teaching the world that your answers are not cheap. They are earned. The third ritual, the one-sentence declaration. In your next meeting or group discussion, you will set yourself a challenge. You will contribute only once. You will listen to the entire conversation. You will absorb all the points of view. You will wait, and you will wait, until you have identified the one single most important point that is not being said. And then you will deliver that point in one clear, concise, powerful sentence. And then you will fall silent again. You must resist the urge to soften it, to explain it, to apologize for it. You will deliver the truth like a perfectly thrown spear, and then you will let it do its work. This is the ultimate training in verbal economy. It will teach you the difference between participating in a conversation and changing its direction. You do not need to be the loudest voice in the room. You only need to be the most necessary one. The frantic need to be heard was the prison. It made you a slave to the noise, a competitor in a game with no prize. The quiet, disciplined choice to speak with weight, or not at all, is freedom. Let the others fill the air with their frantic, weightless words. Let them chase the fleeting validation of being the center of attention. You are playing a different game, a longer game. You are not trying to win the conversation. You are building a presence, a gravity. You are becoming the quiet center around which the noisy world will eventually, inevitably, begin to turn. The noise has faded. Now, the real work can begin. If you are ready to continue this training, to master the art of silent power, then subscribe to the Stoic Citadel. This is not a channel for those who want to talk. It is a training ground for those who want to be heard. Finally, go to the comments and declare your new commitment. Write, "My silence has weight." Your training continues. You have learned the power of saying less. Now you must learn the power of saying no. Your next briefing is on the screen now. Click it to learn the art of the most powerful word of all.